And we are live. I'll send the thing in stream notifications. There we go. Yeah, Ruina time. Love to see it. Hi, hello. Yeah. We're doing, I mean, we're probably gonna finish off first row, Star of the City. Means we'll have some abnos. I think what it means is there's almost definitely no wheel spinning today. So, you know, it's a filler episode in regards to, you know, the Woo gambling wheel. Simply because, fair enough. You just had this open for 2 hours, fair enough. It works. Yeah, should be good. Do we get Road Home and Mountain Smiling Bodies? I assume that's the abnos we're gonna have to deal with. I don't know which is from which, but logically that would make sense, so that's what I assume is gonna happen. We'll see. Those fights are not too bad, but might need a little bit of, you know, tweaking happens. What happens when you beat Ruina? What are you playing next for streams? Probably modded, LobCorp modded Ruina, something like that. I think that's the plan. Because I haven't touched mods for either of them basically at all, and there's so many of them. I think that could be fun, or maybe I'll just do variety stuff. Like, you know, maybe I'll make, like, the LobCorp, you know, Slay the Spire stuff as, like, streams. Who knows? A lot of things that we could do, right? Yeah, Mountain before Red Mist. Makes sense. Turbulence Office. That's one of the ones I've heard the name, and I know nothing about it. Shh. I don't know. I've really not touched on the modding other than like skin mods, because I've made some skin mods myself, quite a few of them, like, you know, the Germa and like the drip outfit. But for the actual like invitation editor, I still know very little about what people have made. I know some people make stuff outside of invitation editor, right? Like that's just kind of like invitation editor is kind of like bad for making like super complex stuff, so people do stuff like and just use invitation editor to kind of like compile it, right? That's what I assume, at least. I'm just assuming you want to see people turn to Fied Mist. I mean, probably will be. I'll probably leave it up to your guys' vote. And I think there's a very high chance you guys will just immediately vote for Red Mist, right? What? Oh, that was a misclick on my part. Good job. The mod you're working on, yeah. Could be fun. We'll see, that's still a ways away. I will also mention that there's probably going to be a little bit of a... For a variety of reasons, there may be a little bit of a hiatus until this stream after this one. Because I've got, you know, I'm going to be fairly busy with, you know, a variety of things. It's going to be a bunch of family over, and then I'm going to be, you know, doing work stuff. That sort of thing, so, my next stream might genuinely be, like, 2 weeks from today, right? It might be a gap like that. We'll see, though. I'm not fully sure on the exact specifics. A lot of this I've just learned about today. But yeah. I just figured I'd mention. I'll probably mention again in the actual Discord. An entire lasagna, any opinions of that? Garfield. That's my opinions. Oh god, that was a misclick. I'm off my game. This is a bad omen. You know, the Minesweeper segment determines how, like, the rest of the stream goes. So, if I don't win a single match of Minesweeper, we're gonna have, like, the worst stream of all time. That's how it fits, I think. Garfield's on the box, actually excellent. You love that Garfield brand lasagna. I mean, yeah, that makes sense, because there's a Garfield movie coming out soon, huh? So they're branding, like, lasagnas with Garfield, you know, advertise. Because that is the logical thing to do, so, you know, fair enough, I guess. Fair enough, advertising company. I don't even know who is making the Garfield movie. I do not care enough to look into it either. Voiced by Chris Pratt, yeah. Still so funny. Just imagine watching the Garfield movie, which, you know, is already a tall thing to imagine in the first place, but, and then you're like, wow, that's the guy from Mario. And, like, you're not wrong. You're really not wrong, huh? When he's, like, actually voice acting for it in, like, most of his roles. Oh, like, so actually, like, trying to sound like Garfield. That's cool. Once again, it won't make it so I'm gonna actually watch the movie, of course. It's just not, you know, something that interests me. I've never been that big of a Garfield fan, honestly. Never, you know, been up my alley. Something I've been actually, like, looking at a lot recently, and, like, it started because, like, the joke with, like, Limbus, but the Heathcliff comics, because Heathcliff is, like, another, like, comic series about, like, an orange cat. I think Heathcliff's actually older than Garfield, but I don't know for sure. And yeah, I looked into them at one point for, you know, the bit, because, you know, it's Heathcliff, you know, that, like, Heathcliff from Limbus, but, I actually have gone, like, strangely, like, they're so absurd. Like, the Heathcliff comics. Like, I've been, like, reading them, like, as they've been releasing daily, just, like, I see them occasionally, and I'm, like, so perplexed every time, because they're so nonsensical. Like, I should pull up one of them. Let me pull up the Heathcliff comics. Because they're insane. Because it's just like weird Garfield. That's all Heathcliff is. There's a recent one that, you know, I was quite transfixed by. Garfield, that's a classic. Yeah, okay, this might work in a strange sense. Yeah, cool. Yeah, this is a recent. This one's from, you know, last month. This is a Heathcliff comic. And this is it. This is the comic. They love the garbage ape. And, like, there's no more context. This is the entire comic for that day. And, like, all of the Heathcliff comics are along this level of nonsensical. And I love them so much because, like, they love the garbage ape. They do love the garbage ape. They're wearing helmets labeled ape. I don't know. It amazes me. Garbage ape patron librarian, true. We love that garbage ape. Back to Minesweeper. I just wanted to show that because, like, I went down the rabbit hole and I am, like, so confused. Hello, Armagon. Oh, that was a misclick, but it worked out well, so I'll take it. It's a misclick and I didn't die for it, so, you know, it's nice to see. Wait, how do you know where the mines are? The basic gist of Minesweeper is that whenever you see a number, that means how many mines are in the 8 surrounding cells. You just kind of gotta use the environment and context clues and stuff to figure it out. Like this, for example, like down here, there's a 1, and there's a mine right to the top right of it. So I mean, there physically cannot be mines there, because I know there's only one mine adjacent to the 1. And that's it. It's a rather, it's kind of complex. I don't know exactly the best word to put it. It's a fun game. It's very simplistic. It's very iconic. Yeah. You could not do this. It's all about learning, right? That's what I thought. I did not know how to play Minesweeper until one day I learned how to play Minesweeper, and you know I have never gone back since. Not to say it's, you know, anyone can enjoy it, because it's definitely a bit weird game. But, I find it fun. There we go. Epic victory. Love to see it. Love a good Minesweeper victory, you know, before we start the stream off properly. But yeah, yeah, I guess I should talk about the new ring IDs. I like them. I think they're going to be funny. A lot of people are comparing them to, Suddenly One Day or Holiday, and the people comparing them seem to be missing the entire purpose of the identities at all. They don't actually want to use status effects. They just want to stack a stupid amount of status effects on the enemies, right? Which is a cool way to do it, right? Like, it's just some random status effect infliction going on, so they've got more negative effects, so you gain a bunch of benefits for them having a lot of negative effects. It's not like, oh, this, you know, you're supposed to, you know, actually be like, oh, I sure hope it rolls bleed here. You kind of hope it doesn't roll bleed a lot of times, or maybe you do hope it rolls bleed when you choose one randomly, because that's probably synergizing with your team, but that's not, you know, a different status effect. Suddenly One Day is funny. It is funny, but it's very bad and very strange. We still don't get the bit with Suddenly One Day, because it's related to the Patron Librarian floor symbol Sephiroth stuff. I don't know, it's still very strange. I feel that Noble Sinner is really well with Regret Faust. Yeah, Regret Faust, you know, Hexanail passive, anything that has a bunch of random status effects, right? There's definitely a couple of people that are good for just getting some random status effects in there. I don't know. And, you know, but the thing about them I'm the most excited about is that, based on past patterns, as far as fusion gifts are concerned, these new ring IDs will count as being burn, bleed, tremor, rupture, and sinking IDs at the same time. So what this means is we can get some stupid fusion gift combos going. The one I was talking about earlier in the Discord was you can get a sinking rupture team where you have both the sinking and rupture fusion gifts active at the same time by running the 2 ring IDs, since they've both got rupture and sinking, base Hongaloo and Suncliff, because they've both got rupture and sinking, and then 1 rupture unit of your choice, 1 sinking unit of your choice. And there you go. If you get lucky enough, you can get both the fusion gifts for sinking and rupture in the same run. And they actually both work, which is so stupid, and, like, the team can't make good use of it almost at all. The one, like, random sinking and rupture gifts you choose on top of it are going to be the ones that have to, like, make or break it, probably. But it's so funny. Sunny also applied count, would it be better? Yes, very. I don't think it would fix the ego, because it's still perfectly random. I think the best solution to something like Suddenly One Day is if you inflict the status effect that is, like, the one that's already most prominent on the target, right? Like, if the target's got, you know, 10 burn, 5 bleed or something, then it'll automatically be like, oh yes, I'm going to choose burn, right? Close to bleed burn with Ahab and Claire and the ring fellas. Well, we can do bleed burn now, because Ahab and Claire ring fellas, and then 1 burn of your choice and 1 bleed of your choice, and you can get both fusions. It's doable now. For everything that isn't charge or poise, you just need 2 units that have both the status effects now, effectively. Because charge and poise are a little bit separate, obviously. I don't know how many other options this opens up, because obviously, you know, we also get, like, Tremor Rupture, which is one we really should have had a long time ago. We've got several Tremor Rupture units already, and the only reason we couldn't get the Fusion Gift before is because Ishmael has 2 different Tremor Rupture IDs. And Claire's skill 2 inflicts nails, yeah. One of his, I think he just inflicts bleed with his skill 3, right? I think he's got, like, a skill that genuinely just inflicts normal bleed. Yeah, skill 3, no, his skill 3 if target has bleed. Oh no, his skill 2 just inflicts bleed, yeah. You know, he doesn't inflict nails, his skill 2 inflicts bleed. He's got no nails whatsoever on him. That's what it is, I've just checked it. Yeah, the skill 3 inflicts a bunch of burn if target has a decent bit of bleed, though. That's what I was getting mixed up with. Still is no mechanical amalgams other than KQE. You know, looking at the skill 3. Maybe one day. Maybe. We'll see more robot-y fellas sooner or later, I'm sure. Surely. But yeah. It'll be cool to see, I'm sure. Just more random teams. It's if 5 bleed inflicts 7 burn. Yeah. But the skill 2 itself just has bleed on it. So he counts the bleed unit either way. And, like, Wound Clear to skill 3 triggers anyways. Let's begin. It sure is that time, yeah. Why don't we just get into it? Alright, cool. You know what, I guess I should poll you guys. I should have started polling you guys beforehand. 2 more options in this row. Church of Gears. plus reverb or Kane Office. We'll do both of them today. This is just, you know, which one we're gonna... Oh, whoops. Wrong button. What? Oh, there we go. So yeah, which of these you want to do first? And we'll do the other one later. So one day holiday he could bring Otis Yusong for an every status vector on. Yeah. It did work. And yeah, we'll see how you guys decide on the poll. So far it's 50-50. It offense to be a chain smoker. You find that real funny? I mean, we can actually do that, can't we? If you want to be a chain smoker, then, you know, we can just roll with that. Already has, you know, smoke page on. Not one that's actually built, but I'll build eventually. Well, we'll be using Tricet and Gabara today, so I'll have to build their floors. Not for the actual receptions, but for the other stuff. I'm already starting with the Assad because I've thrown on a Boris page here, and an Ujat page. I mean, I used Assad and Netzag briefly last time, not to very much, you know, avail. Spoken to cope with trauma is funny. True. It looks like it is a victory for Kane Office, though. Yeah, that is 9-2 Kane Office. Let's end the poll there. Kane Office, they're some of the coolest groups of guests. They are, and they've also probably got like the most quotable lines in like a single reception in the entire game. There's so many funny things. Why isn't it showing the results of the poll? Oh, there we go. Okay, it just took a second. Be a little red early, so not close to as hard as I expected. Honestly, probably the most fun Abno fight so far. It's one of those ones where either you have a pretty easy time or you suffer through it and you just barely fail to kill it, like, or Reddy fails to kill it so often over and over again. Right? It's usually one or the other. It can't office time. We're being up clear. We got one of these. We better not fail this.
사장님, 보셨습니까? T사에서 온 의뢰.
President, have you seen the request from T-Corp? Well, this is such a difficult situation. Have we been found out? We'll talk about second Abno, Price of Silence. That one's gonna be fun, but that's not gonna be this stream. That's after ArcCorp 1, I assume? I know Price of Silence was added in the update alongside ArcCorp 1 and 2, so I assume that's what we need to do for that one. We'll see, that one will be doing in time. How clumsy of W Corp to leak its singularity so carelessly. That's no good. No good at all. I hate that Abno. I feel like most people hate it. I love it. It's a very silly fight. I look forward to it, but in the kind of way where I am dreading it, but it's fun. Although everything went as the Blue Reverberation said in the end, I must admit. Yes, indeed. This is a perfect opportunity for us to learn the details of W Corp singularity. All we have to do now is to visit the library with this invitation and earn the books of W Corp's cleanup crew. Trying it for Switch. Oh, you're right. Oh no, God. I think I was joking about some friends when the Switch version was first released. Like, Price of Silence is probably like the worst thing of all on console versions. And frankly, I don't think anyone had ever played the Xbox version long enough to actually get to that. Because who plays Ruina on Xbox? But now it's on Switch and PlayStation too, so... People are going to have to suffer through that, and I'm so curious. Price of Silence isn't even the real game, only in Legacy. Yeah, I'm very glad they brought it back, though. It's a cool Abno. Because they basically axed it from LobCorp, assumedly because they made it Hawkma's gimmick instead, right? Strong skills, one would see things. Major thing with Red, it was hard to tell what she was clashing with. Oof. Yeah, maybe they, I don't know. Hammer was cool? It was cool. But, like, I don't know. I didn't particularly care for the aesthetic of the hammer. I like the idea, you know, funny Omega weapon you only unlock when this facility is, like, under, like, duress, but... You like the Color Dice mod? That is a fun one. Yeah, I think I've seen stuff on that. Could be funny to get that when I start doing modded stuff. I know, like, another mod that looks super cool is the one that changes the Black Silence's card to be, like, Black Silence, like, colored and stuff. That's another cool one. A lot of cool mods like that. LRD is a solid character, you know, kind of randomly picks someone on the other team to go to, but only sometimes? Is it, like, speed-based? There's probably some sort of reasoning behind that, but I don't know. You have no clue. Might be worth testing out before Price of Silence so that you actually know what's going on, I guess. If you can find ways to actually get your, manipulation of the game's, like, mechanics a little bit faster, that would be good. We love Nemo, we sure do.
사장,
Prez, the library is the star of the city now.
이제 도시의 별이야.
We've completed 11 requests regarding Star of the City until now. Such expertise is why we're under the direct sponsorship of T-Corp. Would you do the funny Yama that gives her passive 30 different effects? Oh god, that's a funny bit. Yeah, I assume for Madness, right? Because Madness it's already is like chance of random good effects or like just a bunch of fragile, right? God, a mod that just makes Madness even more mad. That's silly. Turn graph quality down to minimize lagging time waste. Yeah, it's laggy in general, isn't it? So having to go on under time limit is going to be awful. When we acquire the confidential information in W Corp Singularity, what are you going to do with it? I don't believe you'll just return it to W Corp. Yeah, I've got the Switch version of Ruina. Don't particularly have too much of a desire to ever actually play it on Switch, because I don't need to. I just kind of wanted to have the physical version. I also wanted, the code for, like, the banner and stuff in Limbus, but I also just kind of wanted the physical version in general, right? Who knows, maybe in a couple of years or something, if I'm, like, bored on, like, a long flight or something, I'll boot up the game on my Switch. Don't know under what circumstances that would happen, but it might, right? Like a long road trip or something. You instantly kill Jay, turns her into Malkuth, adds to claim their bones, and more, god. You wanted the code, you don't care about the game. I care about a physical version, because I don't have a lot of Project Moon merchandise in general, so it's nice to actually get something. Being such is so good for accessibility, yeah. We should sell it to the clients that need the technology, of course. A patent war is about to break out, too. I play raging the timer pauses for the turn. That would be cool. I look forward to when, like... I assume we'll get more, like, Sapling of Light stuff in Kanto 7. I doubt the mid-chapters will give us that sort of stuff, but maybe they will, right? Maybe it'll be like Dante's like, oh, I accessed this new power because of the golden bow we got in, Wuthering Heights. And then all of a sudden they can, like, activate the power to, like, make, like, Yisong do a backflip or something. Not that you needed, a sapling of light to do that, because that's just what Warp Yisong does, but you know what I mean. Something random. So we aren't handing it to T-Corp right away. Mr. Bada, it takes more than just diligent work to rise through the ranks as our office has. I wouldn't be surprised if this is, like, supposed to be, like, in T-Corp itself. Because, like, Nemo's, like, filthy rich and stuff. He probably just has paid for all the colors and stuff, right? It's very doable. Take back to their entries in mid-chat. That's true. Power that swaps and either swaps sinners on the field. Oh, that would be strong. I'd like that, but only if they rework it so it's not once per day, right? Being the base enemies got stronger, we've got another key plot, MacGuffin. Yeah, I don't know. It makes sense. The Sapling of Light itself, because obviously we got a golden bow in Kanto 6, and it might just be Dante being like, oh, I can use this golden bow. Maybe Dante will use the golden bow for some detective thing, and it'll also have, like, a usage. Maybe we'll get a golden bow that, like, shows, like, an enemy's, like, weaknesses or something beforehand. Would be awful, because it shows you that sort of stuff before you go into fights now, but you know what I mean, right? We should always seek opportunities. I was honestly skeptical at first, but we were told to entrust work to some irrelevant rubbish like the gaze office. Kill honestly to give your skills to one unit you're choosing. That would go so hard. We get a mountain of corpses type thing. There's a lot of stupid things they can do with them, because having your speed, having enemy speed, solid benefit, nothing too insane. It really feels like they're testing the waters with that one, right? Something relatively minor, but still useful, just to see how it goes, and they're probably going to expand in usefulness from then on. There's barking in the background, don't know if it's picking up. I thought they were joking with us, but look what it did for us. Ji-Chang Lu's 3-6 skill slots in a boss fight for Ji-Chang Lu. God. Would be funny. I really wish they let us, like, solo with non-Heath of units for, like, the Earl King fight and stuff. When we just seeing you, we can't configure others. Wing B works with basically anything, right? Sinking and Rupture especially. Because they just hit a bunch. Especially Rupture since it's Gluttony, right? Even though it only inflicts bleed. Gluttony Fragility too, though. And Gluttony Fragility is super nice because so many Rupture units have Gluttony skills. Here's that thing, though. See? Square head. It went just as I predicted, didn't it? It's a pleasure to meet you for the second time, President Nemo of Kane Office. Here's the thing. You Ponzi creep and wing-forsaking skeleton head. Since when did we agree to go there on our own? There's Argalia, yep, the guy. This is how you screw us over. We're supposed to walk into the library ourselves, including me. Six-sided skull. You bragged about taking care of 11-star city class request mere moments ago, no? What's wrong? Support is bust. Yeah, Butler Power support. Oh yeah, because of that. Makes sense. Your already chances are running Ishmael on a sinking team because of Molar Boatworks. So just on a sinking team, just pull that out, get a bunch of hits in. Could anyone make really stupid usage of the Gluttony Fragility on a sinking team? I guess, I mean, the best I can think of is something like, you know, like Spice Bushy Sung Skill 1. There's not a lot of Gluttony there, but you can make use of the actual ego itself, and that's kind of what matters. Bursting, sinking down. San's brother, Bada, actually, yeah. Their names are Mountain and Ocean in Korean, right? Something like that. And they confirm their brothers in a Q&A. Pretty funny. Don't tell me, are you scared? You were listening in on our conversation.
이건 문제가 될 수 있어.
This could be problematic. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, you sneaky peepers, you. They say the walls have ears, but it looks like you do too. Am I scared? Managed to get Inquisitor, Dawn, Overt, Insult. Alright. Well, yes, I'm scared. Thanks for asking.
사장이 흥분했어.
Prez got miffed. This is a funny... I like the line Prez got miffed a lot. It's such a random one-up line. It's not one of the particularly memorable ones here, but it just sticks out to me. Prez got miffed. It's going to be a real hassle cooling him down for a while. I don't know, so oh, and Esco's tier list, yeah. Which makes sense. I'm honestly a big fan of Endon. I don't know why, I just find her fun to use in Tremor teams, because, Skill 2 Tremorverse is just nice to have, right? And that's kind of all there is to it, especially in Mirror Dungeons, you just kind of want to spam it, right? Hospital C tier, that's a win. Was Sloshmill C tier? Huh. I watched, like, part of it. I kind of had it on the background when I was doing other stuff for a while, just to see how it goes. You know, that sort of thing. So I caught, like, I actually feel like I caught a decent bit of it. Yeah, it was probably, like, I joined, like, midway through Faust, and I think I left after, you know, the Mariachi Sinclair slander. So yeah, I think that was a solid couple hours, right? But yeah, I think Sloshmill you saved to the end or something, right? For the sake of, the, you know, the bit. Yeah, I wasn't paying too much attention for most of it, just on in the background while, you know, gamed other stuff. Yeah, I don't know. The Zvi Sinclair being the worst ID in the game is very fitting. He is not good. I did not quite expect the prominent, prestigious Kane office to swallow their words. Watch look, the end result, Arcliff and Unclear to be so low mid-tier was a shock to the system. Well, yeah. They have inconsistencies, that's the thing. Compared to something like, like Warp Ryoshu, right? Warp Ryoshu doesn't have any sort of inconsistencies. Arcliff, bad in story stuff. Enclairs can lose too much sanity, right? Some stuff like that. And besides, Esku was ranking it off of not mirror dungeons. And, like, mirror dungeons changes the balance of a lot of things, right? Yeah, but still, like, Arcliff and Enclair were still, like, top tier, right? It's just that they're not as good for, like, story stuff, mainly. Especially for Arcliff, though, right? They're good for Enclair, kind of. Enclair's issue is, like, he's just annoying. That's the, honestly. Not mirror, not support passes, but yes, team compositions. Yeah, which makes enough sense. Mirror Dungeons is completely different, you know, beast entirely. Because you've got stuff like, you know, stupidly good ego gifts that just kind of invalidate you to do stuff like most of the fusions, right? You get Wound Claret, and any team can be a bleed team if you even just have a little bit of wrath. Yeah. I don't know. Mr. Skullcap, do I look like scrap for brains? Your motive is so transparently blatant, I can't possibly not be terrified. She was saying lose to be managed normally. Yeah. If I read to the library and turn into a book there, and then the library would get a book detailing the singularities of W Corp and T Corp in the same library where the book about L Corp is. Sync is better in long term, yeah. Wish Warp Shoe and Dawn skill ones weren't so middling. Yeah, I think that's definitely true for them, but, like, they've got to have downsides, right? And Warp Ryoshu's skill 1 honestly isn't the worst thing ever. Like, it's definitely not great, but as far as a skill 1 goes, like, it's fine. And for a unit with such a strong skill 2 and such a strong skill 3, it's definitely fine. No wonder Mirror was considered... Oh yeah, the She gift as well. That's definitely one of them. There's so many random gifts in Mirror for that to do certain things. A million terms of clashing. Yeah. At the same time, then you can always ego or defend or something. They've got evades. Which is just powerful, right? DDDR, yeah. Butler middle, they've got good skill ones, true. And if Blur 1.5 HP and like 20 SP. Yeah. I don't know. I don't really run the charge units a lot. You'll kind of like notice some of the times I do this in like recently in Daily Mirror Dungeon, like I'll build other teams on top of the charge team because I don't want to run charge because I don't find it nearly as fun in Mirror Dungeons or just kind of in general. So I'll just use up the rest gauge when I'm doing other stuff. Like, I think I did that for like the She Gang, right? Stuff like that. And it's just because they're good, don't get me wrong. I'm still kind of just bored of them. That's the main issue. I like the non-warp charge IDs though. And by that I mean Rose Banner Rodion is cool. And I like Rose Banner Gregor a lot. I don't know, I think Rose Banner Gregor is one of those IDs that I also defend a lot. Charge is boring, overpowered. It's not necessarily even like overpowered at this point. It's compared in like Mirror Dungeon especially, like it's vaguely on par with everything else. It doesn't have strength U gifts, right? But like there's so little thinking compared to something like Rupture. Like, I love doing a Rupture run where I just do not get Thunder Branch and have to actually, like, think about it. It's just so much fun. Oh. Guess who will be getting a hold of 3 singularities at once? In times like these, when we're on the brink of a patent war. It's so plainly obvious I don't see a point to say it twice. Tell me, who's the mastermind behind this? Whose pockets are you trying to fill with your little gains? No brain status, God. Unrelated, because you're talking about charge there, but I can't help but think, like, I think I've got the screenshot of it. Like, I can't help but think of, like, the art book page for Nemo. Not the one for Nemo, but the concept art stuff that touches over the Nemo stuff. If I can find it in here. I think I've probably got a screenshot of it somewhere. Because it's always so funny to look at. You can see his weird little brain. He's got like a freaky brain. Just kind of shoved in there. I don't know if I've got the screenshot of it on hand. I've definitely got it somewhere in here. I might have passed it already though, right? I've got screenshots of a bunch of the random art book stuff. If I can, actually find the Nemo one. I could open the art book as well, but that'd also take a bunch of time. I can't find it. Oh well, but the art book has it like Nemo's got like a cylindrical brain like in like the little like it's not in the monitor itself, but it's like behind the monitor in like the little thing connecting the monitor to the head, which is wacky. Are there gonna be a brain in there? Yeah, it's not in the screen itself. It's in like the little screen holder behind it. And it's like cylindrical and like vertical and weird. I'm really surprised I don't have the screenshot so easily on hand, because, it's the kind of thing I really feel like I would have somewhere around here, fairly easy to access. And I just said something about moving on, but I'm checking again because I got curious. Got a bunch of other random art book things, but not the Nemo head one. Which is fine. I don't know. You can probably look it up or something if you aren't worried too much. Dear, dear. Ah. I was wondering what words were going to come out of your agitated speech device. That's all you could think with your rectangular noggin. Singularities. A patent war. I can't even get a chuckle out of it. It's not funny in the slightest. You like to raise your voice over the pettiest things like your life depends on them, don't you, Boxy Buck? I'm stunned by how puny this is. Rhombus Brain thinks we're just here to make some bread. How idiotic. Shut up! And it's cool, because they use the same like voice filter they use for Don't Press Me in LobCorp there. Mr. New Monitor, I'm not interested in your views. Patent war? Mastermind? Money? Think whatever you want. But promises are promises. Pluto. Of course, sir. Ladies and gents, please have another look at the contract. To summarize the point, we will provide Keen Office with information about W Corp's singularity. In return, Kane Office will secure books from the library for us when we want them. The signatures of Mr. Nemo, Miss Martina, Mr. Botta, and the leader of our ensemble, our galley, are clearly written here. We weren't told that the information about W Corp's singularity would be provided in the form of books from the library, not to mention having to acquire it ourselves. The terms were in rather ambiguous vocabulary, admittedly. However, that would not make the content of this contract any less appropriate under the current circumstances. Korean is all Nemo Nemo, but I suppose what's made the introduction so funny to read. Yeah. We love localization stuff. We love shenanigans. You aren't one to decide that. Q-Boy taking the pen like lightning, and he signed the contract in haste, making a huge fuss about a patent war or whatever, wasn't it? Pretty sure he said he's in urgent need of intel about the singularities. The contract never specified that we are to head the library ourselves. It only said Kane Office is going. You should have checked the terms carefully. Here, take a look. I'm not seeing a thing. Let me lend you my eyeglass, dear. Have a closer look at the fine print. This guy. Sign my contract. Sign my contract. If I pull up the got that sign my contract image around here somewhere. Where is he? Here we go. Sign my contract. Sign my contract. Sign my contract. Sign my contract. This guy. All those who sign this contract must retrieve books at the library. What foolish deception. Do you think you'll get off scot-free after meddling with our business? Yeah, do you think Oofy Association is fine with this? Please, I guess like an actual magnifying glass prescription, even a distortion. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, like, the fine print potentially can only be seen through his eyeglass, right? You know, it might be tomfoolery. It might be, like, an abnormal eyeglass. Like, a bit of a distorted eyeglass. Who knows? What makes you think we'll abide by your fraudulent contract at this point? Takes 30% of your max HP, yeah. The contracts are so rude. I should try building around them for once. I've never actually bothered to actually build around use. I don't think I've ever used Pluto's page because it's just the contracts are just stupid. But it could be funny to actually try using it for once. That'll be after reruns all of this, so we'll basically have been done by the game by that point. So, dear, dear, this thing is no ordinary contract, you see. What was it called, Pluto? But if I'm gonna do modded stuff, I'll try building stupid floors and whatnot, see how that goes. It would be yesterday's promise. Right, that. Yesterday's promise. Not bad type of name, to be honest. Anyway, if you don't fulfill the conditions of the contract, you can take anything out of those who signed the papers, see? We can take as much as we want, whenever we want. After you finish the game, you get them. I mean, for some of them, it's after the game, but if nothing else, we can use the reverb stuff for, like, Black Silence fight, Keter Realization, and Distorted Ensemble. And I guess depending on how you order things, we could technically use Pluto's key page for the Bina fight, and we could technically attribute it to Roland. There's not a reason to, but you could, right? He said they're the ones that had to play. The kind of plays are the only ones. Yeah. Contracts to play. Yeah, some of the contracts are real funny and could be really useful. But even the best ones kind of feel like you're still going to have to suffer through a fair bit. You attribute the Black Sands? Yeah, you can. I know, I was like, oh, how funny would this be? And, unequip unique key pages. You can't unequip unique key pages. You can't unequip Black Sands, but you can attribute to it, right? I know, because in my first run, I was like, oh, you know what would be funny? And then I just attributed, you know, the strongest in Mio's prowess to the Black Science for the Argalia fight, and it made it kind of a little too easy. I kind of regret the move. I don't think it's something you should do because it's just too stupid. Pluto. As you wish. Oh, my heart! Ah! No Lone Fixer? I think I did Lone Fixer, too. I think I did, like, Lone Fixer and, like, probably, like, Mind Hauler or something, right? Like, the standard type of setup. That sort of thing, right? I don't know. Maybe not Mind Hauler. I don't remember. Because Mind Hauler... No, Mind Hauler doesn't fit. It was, the Zwei one, whatever it is. Nemo's fine. He has no heart. True. It won't be. This is Mr. Bada's heart. Bada. She really did not care at all. You spent quite a fortune on your body. I can see this heart is augmented with an exquisite procedure. Yeah, it's a shame, you know, your name is covering the heart. But that's fine. Here, I've returned it to you. See, old oblong, I don't care about what you think, I just want you to keep the promises you made with me. I think she just talks like that, yeah, she does, but it's really funny how she's just like, oh, but, when he has, like, been removed of his heart for, like, probably, like, 5-10 seconds or something. That's not good. Feeling like it. He's lucky to still be alive. Maybe he's alive. Maybe he's got, like, a second heart or something. Who knows in the city? Besides, T-Corp directly issued the same order to you, so you have to be there anyhow, no? Stealing with anger won't spare you from coming to the library. Let me ask something. What are you plotting to do with demons like that? I perform the beauty of humanity in this world. It will break down the boundaries of loneliness we all have. We'd appreciate it if you could get the job done by today. Beauty? Loneliness? Brain sick loony.
바다.
Bada, is your
심장
heart okay?
괜찮아?
Should we go see a
병원
doctor?
가볼까?
They're gone.
돌아왔군요.
사장.
What are we gonna do now,
거야.
Prez? Noah Page deck is... You can't. You physically cannot equip Noah's Page. It just doesn't let you. It only exists for the passive attribution. And the fun fact about that is the fact that the passive didn't exist until, like, after the game was finished. It genuinely did nothing for, like, the longest time. So I think it was, like, the same update or so that they added the ability to refight Avnos, like, you know, like, kind of like June or so, a little bit after achievements and stuff. And they just decided, like, yeah, let's just give the page an actual passive so it does something instead of just being there for the bit. And literally 1987, it's really funny. Well, it looks like we've been had.
정말
Are you
괜찮겠습니까?
really sure we'll be alright going by
아무리
ourselves
준비 없이
underprepared?
저도 가도
Let's think simplistically, everyone. Don't get too serious. We'll head into the library, take the books, and come back. That's all there is to it. Let's get ready. I remember that skeleton. He was with the Blue Reverberation last time we saw him.
그래.
He said something about yesterday's promise. I think I read about it in one of the guest books. On the surface, it appears to be an ordinary contract, but unfavorable terms are hidden in the fine print. It was speculated to be the cause of some kind of incident, although I'm not quite sure if the claim is verifiable. It's even more obscene to see it in action. That's such a manipulative scheme.
뭐
Well, I suppose. He's far from being the only manipulative guy in the city, though.
한둘은 아니겠지만.
That's true. People use each other all the time.
당연하다고 생각해.
Do you think that's a given? I simply gave up dwelling on it any further. I still don't believe that's fair. In a similar vein, you're using me and I'm using you.
네가 그렇다면
If you say so, I guess.
그러겠지.
Don't worry, I didn't mean to imply any distrust towards you. You should. It's just... Yes, keeping the options open, that's all. Better safe than sorry, as they say. You know, you never know when, you know, your best friend, the only person you've ever been able to actually talk to, actually wants you dead this entire time and is going to try to kill you in a matter of days. Hey, I never told you any lies, you know. This is a lie. He definitely did tell some lies. Not as many as you might think. Because, like, he is a grade 9 fixer, he isn't the Black Sense, he's just a washed-up grade 1 fixer. You're only keeping a few things from me. I guess I am. Forget it. Why don't you go back to certain books now? You mostly trolled half-truths, yeah. You won't bother being inquisitive, huh? Is there any reason you aren't asking further? None in particular. I can certainly pry, but I figured it wouldn't be fun to uncover everything about you that way. Some things you can only uncover after your friend brutally tries to murder you in cold blood. He and the conclusion that having something to be curious of is beneficial for maintaining interpersonal relationships, that's all. Or perhaps I've grown to trust you that much. We were led by monsters out of the pan and into the flame, a den of monsters known as the library. This has to be comedy gold, the joke of the century! There's the line. I heard the library is rather gentle, if that helps. Just a moment.
왜 그러시죠?
Is anything the matter? Will you do the best ending? Obviously, I'm gonna do best ending, yeah. Otherwise, you get locked out of several fights, right? And you just have to if you do the bad endings, you just have to redo the Black Silence fight. We'll watch them in the credenza afterwards, of course, but you know. Going for the bad endings is really just a great way of making you have to refight Black Silence again for no benefit, because you can just watch them in the credenza anyways. Martina! Yeah. What do you think of this place? It's faint, but I can smell something. You like the bad ending in the credenza even if you don't see him? Yeah. You do. Here's the thing, it's not obvious, but if you just go back to the post-battle cutscene for Black Silence after you finish the game, you can just choose the options there. You're given the option to make the choices, and then you can just see the bad ends like that. And it gives you the achievement, too. Very important thing. You do not have to redo the Black Silence fight several times to get all the achievements. You just gotta watch it in the credenza a couple times. Exactly, it reeks of money, profit! You can't even smell it, that head. Every cloud is a silver lining, it looks like we have found one. Are you planning to sell books or something? Precisely. Even if reputations and contract office may tank, at least we won't starve to death if we get books from here and sell them. Aren't you swimming in cash already, Prez? Martina, our president spends a year's worth of an average budget as well as food expenses every day. He can never have enough money. Still, I never bilk my office staff, my word upon it. Greetings, dear guests. You must be Angela, the director of this place, the so-called pale librarian. She doesn't look pale at all, though. But, watch your words. Nemo can't even eat. Yeah. He just spends it all on, like, expensive batteries that don't do anything, but they're made of pure gold. Or whatever. What do you do with all the food? I mean, assumably it's, like, robot food or something, right? He doesn't buy food, right? That's not what it's saying here. He spends a year's worth of food expenses every day. It's not saying he spends it on food. That's just how much he goes through on a day-to-day basis. Yeah, he buys fancy foods like caviar and such, and he just kind of like swirls it around and is like, "Oh, that was quite enjoyable." Just pretends he eats, and that's good enough. Miss Angela here be a precious provider of goods and wealth in the future. Press changes his attitude so swiftly. I'm used to it by now. May I find your book in this place? Alright, you guys, time. I might do something like this. Is this a good play? We're running Ujat for this? Is that the... Let's roll with it. What's the worst that can happen? Worst that can happen is we have to refight W Corp because I only have one of their books, but you know, that's fine. Nemo time, Mr. Nemo Monitor. After 37 minutes, that's not too bad. Not great, but you know, it could be worse. Okay, we can't redirect everything first turn. That's a good start. We'll have to ignore, like, the golden opportunity, probably. Kind of the smartest move, I think. Oh, actually, this is a little insane. Will the prescript, frontal assault, that, sure. Would actually do much of anything, but it's their promotion level, right? Uncanny Strike is always annoying, but we should be able to handle it. Just leap it, because then we'll Dimensional Rift you, and that'll work well enough. One side, you, I guess. Cool. It's a golden opportunity, a comedy golden opportunity, indeed. Okay, some interesting ties. Ties that bind. Yeah, not great against Uncanny. Martina's probably going to be the big issue, right? She's just going to do a bunch of stagger to us with their Uncanny Strikes. Rather revive passive from Nemo. What about it? It just, the first time he dies, he spends all his charge, heals up a bunch, and gets a little better. But he still can be killed that turn if you just keep on attacking him. You got Metallic Ring on you, that'll be funny, I'm sure. Oh, Energy Beam, cool. Don't really think we've got anything that can, you know, deal with that decently, so we'll just defensive dice it and hope for the best. Da-da-dun-dun. Da-da-dun-dun-dun. Dun-da-da-dun-dun. Da-da-dun-dun. Da-dun. Oh, you can't actually redirect both these. Okay, you're gonna have to tank an Uncanny Strike, I think. Which actually is gonna be really bad for us, but unfortunate thing is I don't think there's much we can do about it. Actually, maybe. No. Yeah, we just can't redirect very much here. That's kind of the main issue. We should probably ignore the energy shield then, though. Yeah, that's definitely the much better way to go. You can discipline the Devastating Thrash. Yeah, cool. You've got Ripple. Doesn't work well here because it's, yeah. I don't have anything with the defensive dice first, though. Alright. Just do that. Rip space as well. Just do some damage. Good enough, I guess. Yeah, no, instant stagger. I was worried about that. That's fine. You get thrashed, but then we discipline you in return. That's fine. Next turn's gonna be not as fine, though, because, we've got someone staggered. You're lasering us again. Not very cool. You're devastating thrashing. That's also not very cool. Okay, we ignore the energy beam. We'll lose our counter dice to that, but that's fine. Do we have anything good for Uncanny Strike? We could Ooge at it. Yeah. Ooge will be nice. Protection Oz next scene should help out. And then we just got to redirect that with that. And then probably the energy conversion with Steel Knuckles. Cool. You're getting hit. This works. Yeah, this will work. We don't actually beat that with the counter, of course, but it just kind of, you know, goes in the way. Tremor is good. Yeah, Tremor is good. What do you mean? Do we gotta have a Tremor hater here? The Tremor haters will not survive the winter. I'm just making sure you know that. Okay, you're doing another. What is with your lasers? It's looking not the best. It's looking fairly fine, honestly. Yeah, it's Martina that's the big issue here, because she's going to keep on staggering us, because we don't really have anything that's got a solid first die, do we? It's kind of my fault, but oh well, it happens. We can discipline you. Oh, you're getting lasered. You resist Pierce Stagger, so it should be fine-ish. The energy shield's gonna be the... No, that's not an Uncanny Strike. Okay, cool. Do this, seize your chance of that. Should be able to redirect everything this turn. Oh yeah, you can actually just defend this, maybe. You can tank it. It'll be fine. Just go for like a energy cycle, and then we'll rip space you, because I don't like you. Do it like this. Move things around a little bit to make it a little bit better. You can creep that, and then last thing to do is Golden Opportunity? I guess, yeah, probably best play. Not like great, but that's fine. Roll with it. Roll with it. You get shot, that's fine. You defensive dice that to hopefully do decently. Cool. How's Kane office been? It's going fine. Not, you know, like the best, but like we're living still. Martina idea it should just be Tremor, just Stagger Raise. I mean, probably Tremor, because just Stagger Raise is kind of lame, right? Okay, nice Stagger. We can get our musical addiction if we want. We really don't want it, but it's a funny idea. Saw it doesn't have light. Sure, you can have it. We can get Grinder here, cool. Energy conversion is all you're doing this turn. That's funny. We can't redirect it onto anyone else, though, so, our only option is to gig this, I think, which is, not great. 3 stagger resist. You know, gotta let it go, though. Not really any other options. We should be sad here, though. I'm not too concerned. Dimensional Rift, you, Ripple, you, sure. Run that. Sure, Tremor. We knew more hybrid IVs, yeah. Like, the idea of stat raising outside of Tremor. I don't think that's very good, though. Like, you're gonna get something like a Mind Whip, right? If Ruby Stagger Raise and Uncanny Strike would be Wrath, true. Every single Stagger Raise thing is Wrath for some reason. Because you got, you know, Mind Whip, you got Art of Blossom Star, you got, the new one. Okay, it's just you left. We were just, oh yeah, that's right, you get revived. I completely forgot about that, but, like, you still die this turn, because it doesn't give you sort of protection. Cool. We got this. Hope we got a decent bit of their books. We might need to redo the fight. It shouldn't be too bad. 3 Martina. Oh, no, actually, 4 Martina, 3 Bada, 4 Nemo. Cool.
특허 전쟁이란 건 꽤 치열한가 보네.
Technically, results SU raises stagger threshold by charge spent, and it's sloth. Well, that one just increases stagger. That just increases tremor damage dealt, right? It's like a percentage tremor increase. Later, skill 3 doesn't exist, true. BLO just doesn't exist. Suppose Padmore was fiercely fought, judging by the way he talked about it.
그렇지. 이 도시에서 돈을 벌 수 있는
Yeah,
수단
all in
중
all, technology is the most reliable
기술과
means of
기술이
making money in the city.
그 기술을
Bad
위해
wars are
특허
waged over
전쟁을
those
벌인다지만
technologies, but in truth, neither
대개는
side really
이기는
benefits
시대를
from them.
가는
It ends in a
양측
Pyrrhic
자존심만
victory at best.
이겨도 손해인 거지. 잘 대처하지 않으면
If they don't respond well, they might lose their rights to the technology by an imitation, or spend too much time and energy for the win to have been worthwhile. At the end of the day, people like the guests who just agree to profit the most from those conflicts.
뭐 그래도 보는 견해에서는 재미가 쏠쏠하긴 해. 흥미로운 이야기가 많은데 이야기 좀 해줄까?
For the reset threshold by percentage. Well, yeah, percentage of the tremor, right? So it's still just it's just an increase to how much the tremor does. I think. County goal joke of the century, true.
그런 건 나중에
Save the whole thing for a later time.
이야기가
Sounds like it'll be a
길어질
long
것 같네.
tale.
알사도
Has Arcor
특허
participated in a
전쟁에
patent
참여한
war?
적 있을까?
글쎄.
Don't know. I don't think I heard any stories about that, at least. Arcor is already exceptional among private military contractors.
그럼 알사가
How about the
다른
singularity of
나라의
another
특이점을
wing?
노릴 게
Has
없나?
Arcor tried to get a hold of any?
그건 모든
I
날개가
bet every wing
똑같이
thinks the same way about that
생각하고
matter. Few wings
보통
use their
자신의
singularity on
특이점만
its own.
사용하는 날개는 드물어.
Nemo is the best. We love Nemo.
알사도
Arcor
분명
must be using a
다른
singularity
날개의
or two that
특이점을
doesn't belong to
함께
them,
사용하고
you know what I
있을
mean?
거다.
And they gotta pay the owners a
사용할
fee
때마다
whenever they
드는
use
비용도
them.
있고.
Well, BL owners, you want to have a full BL team from Merso? Good.
다른 날개의
If they uncover the
특이점을
secrets of those
알아낸다면
singularities owned by other wings,
그
they could
비용을
save that
절감할 수
expense,
있을
correct?
거지?
맞아.
Spot on. Cool, and we do unlock Road Home from that, so that's cool. First things first, book burning. See what we got. If we get something decent. Do not get an emails page, that's fine. I'll get it before next time, probably. We got both Martin. We got 2 Martinez, and we got 1 Bada. Yeah, so that does mean logically the next step will be to do this one, the Church of Gear / Blue Reverb ensemble, or not ensemble, just Blue Reverb himself, not the ensemble, thankfully. Sesame, Tenma, okay, some random stuff here. S-Group and U-Group have had their logo revealed. They've had their logos revealed for a while, right? I assume you're referring to the actual because there's a random person who makes, like, the wallpaper engine map, right? And they updated recently to include the U-Corp and the S-Corp logos. Because the U-Corp logo we've known for almost a year now, because it was on the actual, because the King Trash Crab has the U-Corp logo on its shell, right? So we've known about that one for a while. And the S-Corp one was part of the background for, in the BL event. That one we don't know for sure if it is the logo. It probably is. Though, right, I assume it says Salpipio Agro Industries or something on it. I don't know enough Korean about it. But yeah, you can see that in, like, the background of, like, some of the BL fights. That's cool. I was reading something the other day about someone, like, going in-depth into what, like, Salpipio means. And, like, it's weird. I don't know if I could find, like, the thing I was reading, but, like, it's got a meaning. It's very odd. It's very interesting. What is it, like? Which fight? I don't recall seeing it. Oh yeah, I can potentially pull it up, right? Do I have it around here? I might. Let me check. It's like a very small thing, and I think someone like recreated entire like in depth. But if I go to the battle backgrounds, wasn't like bones, flesh, and blood. It's something like that, right? Is that Germa? Yeah, that's Germa. What about it, Rhino Merso? Do you see how they made suddenly one day into IDs? Yeah, except it actually has a purpose instead of suddenly one day. Let's see. What are they doing? Their detour tails? You're back. Did you beat them? Yep. Sure did. And we are pulling up an image because people are asking about it. Because we have the S-Corp logo. It's specifically from the background where I think it's a background where you fight like himself, like in the Fathoms, right? If it's gonna download, okay. Why are you like? It applies to the Tremor Shard. Suddenly, one day's only use is going away when they finally patch that issue soon. But, you know, it's this background. This is what I'm talking about. If we zoom in, super close, you can see this little logo here. This like red, yellow, blue. It's Salpipio Agro Industries logo. I think it says something like that in Korean. I don't know for sure. It's not the kind of thing where it's very readable to me. I don't even know if it is actually readable in Korean. I assume so, but it's super stylized here, so I can't tell. The corp that goes to singularity, G corp gravity, arc escalation, but K corp could be potassium. I think the one theory I've seen for K corp that's the closest thing I know of is there's like an eye condition that's like, oh yeah, like you can't stop crying or something, and it starts with a K. I don't know, I might be wrong about that. I feel like I saw someone talking about that at one point, though. Eye condition. Is it keratoconus? I don't think keratoconus is what it is. But that starts with a K, so it might be that, right? I don't know. That's the best theory I've seen. We don't know for sure because they don't specify it. Not every corp it's like super obvious for, right? Also remove that off the screen since it's... I just deleted the wrong thing. And that's probably fine. Oh, I deleted the game itself. That's a little bit less than fine. There we go, that's better. What are we thinking? Is it time for you? It might be. I think I need to actually build here, though. Cecil page, that'll work. Me, Tenma. I can throw like a Martina. Germa can have a Martina's page. That'll work. Oh, we only have 2 copies on game. Okay, we'll have to build around that. Spends charge. So what we're gonna need is like some energy cycles. Is there anything good for actually gaining charge from these guys? Spend charge to restore light. Not bad. Like some energy conversions. Probably a leap too for good luck. Leap, and then like we need like a dimensional rift. Is this a good deck? There we go. With 4 still 3 librarian spots. Oh, let's see. We've got 1 on Tiff, 1 on Gabura, 1 on Chesed, 1 on Bina, and 1 on Hawkma. So there's 5 left, and there's 4 people on the wheel right now. So effectively, it's getting a little dire. There's not going to be any wheel spinning today, though, because there's just not going to be enough stuff like that. This is probably good enough. Martina's page. You've got a 10 on. Maybe me. We'll roll with me. We'll do smoke. Oh, give me a minute. I'm back. Sorry about that. My dog was being a little silly. Oh, let's see. Building a deck, though. Building a very well-designed deck. Where I've just thrown on, every smoke page, and that's probably good enough. Tenma... Oh, we probably don't need Tenma. What do we want? One of these, maybe? Gun? We probably don't want gun, do we? We can run Ujat, sure. Ujat's funny. It's not something I've ever run, you know, actually before, but it's nice. First, they switched to game... Oh, yeah, right. Thank you for reminding me. Wrong one. Load this, Ujat. I realized once you guys pointed it out. Silly me. And it just said, burn. Oh, but we've run out of will to pre-script. That's funny. That'll be fine, I'm sure. Yeah, we'll do a little bit of that, a little bit of frontal assault, blah blockade, gig, class and respect, blow sword, fleet edge. Good enough. You've never seen that screen? I don't blame you. It's like the least useful thing of all time, usually. It's such awful UI, but if you're ever like, you know, I wonder where, you know, all my copies of, Rushdown have went. I don't even know if I got anyone equipped. Oh, I've got someone. Malkuth's got one. You're like, class and respects. I think it's actually a little more common. You can see Layla's got one. We can see, Draki's got one. We can see Chised's got one. Struggler's got one. So on and so forth. It's a cool screen. It's just not useful. Got the no grind mod because you just like grinding. Can you use your sword? I probably will use your sword again. If you, you know, want it. But we're going to do the Abno fight first. Where you can see the customization of librarians. Unfortunately not without, you know, the game itself, right? I don't think there's a good source for it. You can just describe how you want, like, your librarian to look, though, and, the point will probably get across well enough, I'd hope. Okay, we're getting funny brick roaded, that's fine. That's how it goes, after all. This guy's gonna be a nuisance, I'm sure. Always is, so, shouldn't be shocked. We'll just start off trying to clash as much as possible to get a bunch of emotion level and whatnot, right? Like this. I'm not going to try gunning down the girl, because, you know, that's my usual strategy. I'm going to try actually doing this fight, though. So I've kind of got some, like, homeless decks and stuff, so we're just going to have to, like, patiently wait our turn. Which, I mean, is fine. Okay, decent enough. Gavin Benson get an emotion level there. That's alright. Okay, you need to not mess up. You need to not mess up. You can uncanny strike the child. Uncanny strike the child. Do it. You must. You must uncanny strike the child. Why are you doing this? So on and so forth. Question Cow is also funny for like this probably. And then I might just like gig this so that we do something. And that's probably good enough for now. Yeah, sure, roll with it. It's gonna be like the kind of fight we're just gonna be stalling for a bit. That's how this fight goes. Oof. We're fine. So the only feline Abno, right? Maybe? I guess it depends on like what you count as a cat and what you count as a not cat, but like... I guess so? I don't know, I can't really think of any others, huh? What's they need to think about? Okay, yellow brick roading again. As you do. Do it like that, then we gotta deal with you, and then we'll deal with you, I guess, like that. Bad idea, but we'll roll with it. 2 roll on each side, awesome. That's fine. It's fine if this attack hits, it's just the next one that can't hit. This realization made you realize you can technically beat the cat using the type of 8 and pass you running rapid gashes. Oh yeah, you definitely can. I know you can. I'm pretty sure when I first played the game, I think that's the kind of way I actually dealt with this. Losing those evades was annoying, but that's fine. I think gleaming is also super nice. But, like, you can just spam things that increase your stagger damage, and you can, like, stagger the child and stuff like that and not have to worry about the gimmick. I'd personally rather worry about the gimmick, though, for safety reasons. You don't have anything that, okay, that something could go wrong there, but, we just gotta believe. Just gotta believe, and then, we'll be set. We're believing. That's all you need to do to be fine. And can he strike one of these? Sure. Roll with it. Yeah, cool. Run it. We're hitting the little child a little bit, which isn't great for... We mineraled, yeah. What's the gimmick of this fight? If you mineraled the wrong time, you have to restart. Don't let the house get hit, yeah. And if you mineral at a specific time, the house gets hit. It's a real interesting fight, that's for sure. Thank you, Chisad. Yeah, Chisad's, doing... I don't really think I can call it his best, but he's doing. And then we need a 2 for that. Sure, flesh fillet. Why not? Send it. Wait, really, that's it? That's the gimmick? Pretty much. Don't let the house get hit, and if, you know, if you fail clashes at a certain time with certain people, you can't redirect it. So Tristad was the only person you could deal with it. That was his best chances of beating that, going for that attack, and we min-rolled, so we lost instantly. Like, in case you're wondering, if I hadn't stopped the fight then and there, Road Home would have proceeded to slowly walk over to the house, hit it, and then everyone would just explode instantly. So you're really not missing much. Yeah, this turn once again. We've got Blow of the Sword this time, so we're fine. As long as it's got a 4 mineral, it's nothing to worry about. Right. Okay, you're bad speed. Cool. We've actually got, like, awful redirection this turn. There's, like, so little we can do. Yeah, this is awful. We can't redirect more than 2 of these things. That's awesome. Just protect just that a little bit, I guess, and that's all we can do here. Cool. A few high floor cards and you're good. Yeah. You do have a turn to conserve a card to beat a single die, not harsh game. Instead, just a minute of 3 to 8. Yeah. Chances were in our favors, but you know, sometimes that's not enough. The realization version is fine, also. So that's nice. Okay, you're being gone for this turn. You do not have anything good in hand, so you just gotta hope you draw something good. That's exciting. Chisad might ruin us again. You also don't have anything good, do you? Huh? Well, that's fine. We can energy conversion, spend some charge, get some draw going. Might work. We'll see. We really need you to not get staggered, though, so we're not going to clash with you. We'll redirect it to someone else. Maybe we can Sand Strike, that'll work. And then just gotta, like, Trace Fumes you. Sure, send it. Bonked, yeah, it happens. Yeah, Germa's got one stagger resist left, god. A little bit close for comfort. Smoke. We do love smoke. That's... Huh? The energy cycle was in the higher speed dice. Am I wrong? I might have misinterpreted that. I don't know. I'm gonna assume that's what happened there, and I just wasn't paying enough attention. Okay, you drew Uncanny Strike, you're fine. And you've got Taishin Cow, you're fine. Alright, we're set. This is the turn where things actually all should go according to plan. We'll also use a bunch of light recovery and stuff here just to make sure we're ready for next turn. And we're going to redirect as much as we can. For our own safety. That's good, that's good. We want to redirect that one. Don't have anything great to redirect it with for you, do we? Maybe we should just Loss of Senses it instead, and then, yeah, then you can Sand Split there, cool. Don't really know if I want that to be clashing, but, best other option is Gig, I guess. So we Gig that. Sure, this'll work. I do believe, unless I've failed something horribly, this should work well enough. Ouchie. Just that's fine, of course. The only reason I risked him clashing is because I knew he'd be fine, even if he, like, failed to the worst of his abilities, because he resists Slash, and that's been helping a lot. Uncanny Strike's also been doing pretty good stagger damage to Road Home. That's nice to see. And what is it? We just gotta beat your Mass Attack this turn? Yeah. 10 to 10 summation. That's not great. Okay. Well, we're kind of going to need to hope a little bit for some of these. All you can do is Hidden Blade. That's not great. You can seize your chance, so that's a good thing at least. And all you can do is Leap, so Outlook, not so good. There are light recovery stuff going too, might as well. Redirect, seize the chance. Seize the chance, cool, cool, cool. Sure, send it. We failed with, yeah, Germa ruined us. Do we have to go through the entire cycle again because of that? I think so, right? We should just try killing, honestly. Germa's staggered, that's fine. Germa might die, that's fine. Librarian is 3 or more light. That's doable, maybe. Yeah, cool. Just throw a house at us? Yeah. Just kind of mean like that. Keeps on throwing houses at me. Send it. Unfortunately, Jeremy Albertson's taking a little bit of damage. That's fine. It's what Jeremy Albertson does. Germa would never die to the road home attack. Germa would never. Germa's got an Uncanny Strike, actually, so that's cool. Okay. Maybe we can get more stagger progress on the child. The game's not over yet. We're not cooked quite. Okay, that's a little bit cooked. You've got like nothing here. You kind of can't redirect a lot of these very safely at all. Gulp. We go first. Okay, Germa might just die or something. It happens, right? If so, it's probably deserved. Cool, good stagger, though. Good stagger damage. Okay, Germa did survive, though, so that's nice. Germa's not one to go down so easily. Who's getting marked? It's Germa again. Germa. I think Germa does die this time, if I'm being honest. Because he's got 7 HP, and he can only beat 2 of those at max. I'm not fully sure what happens if Germa dies, honestly. Just gotta hope he doesn't die, then. Simple as that. That's... Okay. Okay. I think he lives? He endured that. Okay, cool. Alright, he's chilling. He's alive. I genuinely think, like, we've been saved so hard by the random Ujot, the guy we've got here. Genuinely has been, like, saving our life, I think. Intai Shinkawayu, Okay, Germa's got a 50% chance to succeed here. 50-50, Germa. It's all down to you. Okay. You're not really going, you know, the best. Things are going a little bit wrong. Just a little. Germa, heads or tails, you feeling lucky? Germa is, you know, a gambler. If anyone can, you know, win it big in the lotteries or whatever he does, it's hit. Okay, he failed. Yeah, here's the loose animation. Yeah, she hits the house and everyone explodes. That's it. Okay, maybe we need to improve Germa's deck a little bit. He's kind of the slacker. Maybe Martina isn't great here. Actually, wait, better idea. Maybe Martina's the only thing that works here. No, I was gonna commit to the bid and do full Uncanny Strike for stagger damage. We've only got 2 Uncanny Strikes, though. We send it back. We send it back. I believe in Germa. Okay, Germa's already being attacked again. Save the Dimensional Rift. That's probably a good... Save the Uncanny Strike, yeah. Just save the good stuff. Save the good stuff. And then we're probably gonna be much better off. Send it. Cool. Not so cool. Cool. German Nemo when true. It could get German an upgrade, you know, a little bit of a promotion to Nemo. We didn't get the Nemo page though, so yeah. And then this fight, and then this where you can't save the good stuff when you need it. I mean, you can. You just go for the other skill, right? Oh no. Plus, if they were to do it in Limbus, they'd do it very differently because you can ego, right? You can just save your ego till you need it, and then you're perfectly fine. It's straight up non-issue whatsoever. There. Oh, you've got 1 speed. Oh, Clash Respect. That works. Cool. Uncanny Strike that. You get like a Dimensional Rift off too, that's cool. Sure, run with that. Seems solid. I really need to stop clashing with the people that are marked. That's kind of like the big thing I keep on forgetting, right? You kind of need the gleaning, don't you? You don't hit a lot though, so it's not really the best thing. Okay. Oh, this isn't great. You can spend some charge to restore light and get some page draw though, so that's cool. little bit of that. Cool. Restoring her stagger resist. That's a little bit rude. These guys have a bunch of light. They might. Look at what she said. You actually always have light, so that's good to know. Taishin Cow you, and then just like Uncanny Strike you. Okay, cool. We're gonna take a little bit of rough clash here, but that's fine. Strike, roll the prescript. You probably want to trace of fumes that, and then you're gonna just need to accept your loss, I think. Yeah, send it. This should work. And we just need to beat the Mass Tag next turn. We should be fine. You can't instead of spam body tech due to the lack of an evade, and he ran out of center resources and died. Or tragic event. Yeah. I mean, of course, the thing then is, like, the solution is to, like, either have a team that fuels body sack better, or, like, conserve your resources for body sack better, right? There is always solutions to a degree. They're not always, like, the most efficient things, and that's kind of, like, a crucial element of it, right? Like, sometimes you have to go for less than ideal, you know, solutions to problems. That's how it goes. Oh, great. We've spent all your good stuff already. Okay, let's think this through. 5 mineral. 6 mineral. That one's like just like an average of like, 5. Not great. I think a leap is our best bet, and we have to get lucky, unfortunately. Oh, we do have strength, actually. We're probably fine then, maybe. I don't know, actually, if we are. We might be. It's your best bet. Flesh fillet, probably. Is it? Yeah. A little bit dicey. Steep drag is probably your best bet, but you might roll horribly, and then everything, you know, goes horribly wrong because of that. So we just gotta hope that doesn't happen. What are the odds, though, right? Low, 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 low. We're clashing against that with the leap. Cool. Send that. Okay, we beat it. Nice. Beat the mass attack that time around. Okay, nice. Now we kill Road Home. Yeah, you're gunning, that's right. A little rude. Come on to fragile this scene, that's alright. What do you think I can beat that decently? I don't know, actually. Either way, like, obviously, we're going kill mode. Maximize kill this turn. Be very nice to kill these guys. You can defend that, sure. It'll be worth it. You can, like, inhale smoke. You can try Hidden Blade, I guess. You could theoretically dodge it. Actually, yeah, that looks very dodgeable. Cool. Do that, lost senses there. Send it. Okay, it's some weird stinger in this phase and only in this phase. Yeah, why not, I guess. Simple as that. Okay, let's hopefully get some good damage off on Road Home. If so, that would be very cool. Nice. And now the Scaredy Cat reverts to its, you know, true form. Gig. There we go. Yeah, victory. You just need to, you know, not drop any clashes, and then it's not too hard of a fight. Right. And, you better believe it's Stockholm's dinner time.
뭐 하고 있어?
What are you up to?
커피콩을
Picking out some
쏟아내는
coffee
중이야.
beans.
이게
It's much more intensive work than it seems.
나도
I,
이제
Angela, and the employees of the botting corp were all picked out and ended up where we are, just like the guests were. No matter what the individual wishes, society will just pick out the people it wants while leaving the rest to rot in the pile. An invisible chain of oppression is weighing down on everybody. Those are the rules necessary for people to live close to each other. Those are the rules necessary for people to live close to each other. I bet society is going to be even more messed up than it is now without him, you know? I agree that some rules are needed, but why'd they all have to be so extreme? The syndicates in the back streets, the associations of fixers in the wings, they're all established on the premise of human sacrifice. That's how it is in this world. A big game of cat and mouse where the winner takes all. There's no point trying to wrap your head around the inevitable. You really are an odd one, huh? Would you say that the pain and loss you suffered were also inevitable then? You always talk about the city so plainly, saying that everything happening in it can't be helped. Is it really because you're indifferent about it? Or are you trying to turn away from the underlying unfairness? Sure, we're just being carried away by a gigantic wave. We need to charge for a bit now, bye. Farewell. All we gotta do is surrender to the flow and float down the stream. You're busy running away, aren't you, Roland? You see, I came from the nest. Figured as much. I was born into a wealthy family that was the envy of all. I didn't have to worry about my future and was born smart too to top it off. Some elite prodigy, you were. I know, right? They'll expect me to join A Corp and climb up to a high position like it was nothing. My older sister and other siblings got into wings like a breeze too. The wings most people strive to enter were no more than ordinary career paths for me. I never got why they were so desperate to join such boring companies. So that's how great your family was. Yep, that's the kind of family Daniel had. But one day, in a bizarre turn of events what we even describe as fate, he stepped in the back streets, the place he never thought would have anything to do with his life. A rebellious little deviation from the quotidian of life of a spoiled young gent. It would have been pretty romantic if that were the case. But I was just kidnapped, really. Caught me by surprise. Someone decided to kidnap a nest resident and a rich one at that. Must have been some big shot syndicate or just a crazy. Well, you see, it was actually Carmen and Callie. Huh. If the red mist did that, well, I guess she had good reasons. When I came back to my senses, those two were arguing with each other. You were never good at telling people apart based on their faces, Callie. Well, it's your fault for giving me a bad description, Carmen, etc., etc. I couldn't help but chuckle listening to that. I thought I was looking at a comedy skit or something. So they got the wrong person. Didn't take them for a couple of airheads. I'm telling you, they really were clumsy at heart. They were trying to catch some con artist who scared Carmen out of her research fund, and Callie apparently mistook me for the perp. I thought I'd get some apologies and go back to where I belonged. But then Carmen asked me with a hint of shame to help her out for a bit while I'm at it. She said it helps to have a visibly rich person like me stand next to her. So I said yes out of surprise and confusion. I was wondering what she was about to do, and then she took me to an open space and started giving a long speech. I guess it wasn't anything weird since there's plenty of people muttering nonsense in the back streets every day. You're right about that. Can you guess what she was saying standing next to me? She went on about vague things like how everyone is fatigued and ill with the disease of the mind and that she's recruiting people to help her find a way to overcome it. Sounds like total hogwash. One thing that stood about her was that she was so proud and confident with her ridiculous speech. even when most people barely gave her a glance before going about their business. Carmen was vastly different from the people I had seen. She had the eyes and voice of a person who was willing to carve a brand new path. I never thought people like her could exist until that day. After her speech, Carmen walked me home. And on the way back, I saw and heard it for the first time. The hellish landscape that was so different from the world I lived in. The world of wonders. Carmen and Kelly taught me about what's going on in the back streets and how people in the nest are being extorted without meaning. When I got back home that day, I spent all night shivering from this odd sense of guilt. Stockholm Syndrome cutscene, you better believe it. A naive young noble wakes up to a half-baked sense of justice. Oh, my mouse has stopped working? There we go. I did. I guess you could say it was half-baked in a way. I mean, you could have just shrugged the whole thing off as a bad day and went back to your everyday life, no? Maybe. But I just couldn't, no. So, I ended up joining Carmen's team of researchers. That's simple. Aren't you skipping too many steps at once? Half-baked Finn reference, yo. Of course my family had several problems with it, but those were just small details. I wanted to use my capabilities to help people. I was sincere about wanting to make the world a better place. Daniel was. How about now then? Are you still sincere about that? Yep, I am. I want to change it right next time. If there is a next time, that is. Don't expect others to have the peace of mind like you do. It's all thanks to your prosperous background that you could say such generous stuff. I'll be going now. There we go, realization level up. New admin pages, no new librarian, unfortunately, because we won't get that until we get to the next one from you. Which is, don't actually remember whether or not Index or Leave Section 2 comes first. You'd think I would, but I never can keep it straight. It's one of those two, though. The other one's the Tifereth one. I think. I don't even know if it's that obvious. It might be R-Corp, actually. I think it might be R-Corp. I don't know. Yeah, you know, Germa clutched up in the end. Sometimes that's all it takes. It's time for the smokers? I think it is. Yeah, we'll use Usad again, though. Might as well. It's funny. Spying pieces, distortion, and send. This is highly disappointing. I'm sorry, Sir Arcalia. I was so sure I would find an answer that came all the way here. But no, not a single soul here has a lead. Oh, what did you expect to see in a shabby fringe of the outskirts? The Red Mist began harnessing that power for us after this place had become our base of operations, no? We don't know anything about the Red Mist. We were just taking shelter in an abandoned laboratory. They had to have left something here. Don't you have any guesses, my friends? The monster's about to come. Please, let us go now. You've had enough. You folks aren't helping at all, sadly. We already told you that none of us know a thing about this facility. Why won't you listen to us? You better hurry up and recall more useful information, friends. This is driving me crazy, too. Whoops, wrong button. I don't know, kind of sounds... I mean, it sounded like Sinclair to me, honestly. I think it might just be the intonation, though. I don't think it was necessarily the same voice actor, but wouldn't be surprised if they reused random people for this stuff. Following your charming voice, I dropped by... Is it Heath? It might be. Maybe it's Heathcliff. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. It sounds familiar, though. Was Heathcliff's voice actor even in Ruina at all? I don't know if he was, actually. I don't know, it definitely sounds familiar. Yeah, I hear the Heath now that you mention it.
여기 있는 그 누구도 이 시설에 대해서는 모른다고 하는데 왜 자기 할 말만 하는 거야?
Yeah. I don't know. I think if I actually knew Korean, it would be more obvious when things were like same voice actor. Because I don't, I can only like vaguely speculate. In the end, Elcorth Library, and this used to be lab were the only 3 candidates remaining.
곧 올 거야.
They're coming. They'll be here any moment. They'll come for us if you don't close the doors. The pianist who showed up in the middle of the streets. They took my sister.
내 동생을 앗아갔지. 난
I couldn't be there as it happened, unfortunately. Upon my belated arrival at the scene, all that greeted me was the grand piano with its performer gone. My sister had become one of the many keys and strings of the piano, joining in the last performance. What she had become was utterly indescribable. Not because it was horrible, no. Rather, it was just too beautiful for words. Oh, can you hear the sound of clockwork? They're coming! Or an IMDb only Limbus. Yeah, that's what I thought. And I know Sinclair's voice actor is in the game because Sinclair is also Boris, right? I don't know. They might have gotten someone random though. It's hard to say. I don't know if they ever credit like roles like this. I suppose it's my fault for letting my dear younger sister marry an imbecile. I couldn't stop her. Throughout our lives, we could never quite understand each other. Our hearts were too far apart to keep each other company. It was through the performance that we could finally see the feelings of one another. I shivered with pain and despair for losing my naive and adorable Hoyden. And looking at once my sister, I trembled from the enticing melody it created. That's when my eyes were opened. I could see it. I could envision what I can do for her. They're here. Wings, have mercy. Playing a gorgeous melody, a never-ending dirge. Air mentions of dear Angelica. A dirge for Tifereth, A gentle voice whispered to me that I shall be able to reenact that glorious performance. I wandered around following her advice, but I couldn't find a definitive answer anywhere. Yeah, it's them. Clockwork Teeth are here. Everyone run! Don't let them take a single strand of hair. No, I hadn't come all the way here to see some sloppily made creatures. Pluto? Eileen? Yes, Sir Argalia. Shall I shut them down for you? Clockwork is rubbishy compared to gears. How did you stop the flesh clockwork? What are you people? What's number 8, Ishmael? Vaguely here, I don't know. It's hard to say. After wandering for a while, a revelation finally flashed in my head. Yes. It bore a striking resemblance to the beauty of the red mist manifested as she danced with blood in her mouth. The pianist and the red mist showed vastly different colors of elegance, yet they were so alike at the core. Give up, Bowles. He's worse than the monsters. What a shame, I've got nothing. The invitation is the only lead I have now. Eileen, care to lend me a few of your sheep? Draw me a sheep, will you? Oh. As you wish. Are you sure you don't need our company? Limbus company? Don't worry, I'll be back in no time. It's not ripe yet, anyway. Pluto, stick around for a bit longer and see if there's anything noteworthy here. But of course, sir. These two buddies have got to be distortions, I'm 110% sure. And one of them seems oddly familiar now that I think about it. Is it just me, or is there a hint of sadness in the blue reverberation's face? You mean the blue sicko? He's just lost from the shock of losing his sister. The pianist caused tons of people to part with their precious things in one way or another, but he in particular had to lose them the worst way possible. When someone as powerful as him goes completely wacko and starts pillaging everywhere, there's literally no way to stop him. I wonder who you could be referring to here. Not just Blue Reaver, Bay. He said his sister is named Angelica. That sounds similar to my name.
뭐
Well,
그렇지.
yeah.
같은
I'm guessing they
뜻일 거야.
mean the same thing. By the way, what were those entities they called clockwork teeth? Are they the creatures of the outskirts?
외곽은
The outskirts are where
머리
things
위에
abandoned and
도시에서
rejected from
거부당하고
entering the city by the head
버려진
go.
곳이거든. 도시의 불순물을
Basically a
버리는
junkyard
폐기장
for
같은 곳이야.
impurities in the city.
외곽은
Most people rarely get a
사람들이
chance to see the outskirts
힘들어서
throughout their lives, so they don't even know that those things exist.
보통 외곽의
A lot of the
괴물들은
monsters living there are
인간이
artificial creations
만들었거나
made by humans or things brought from the outside.
그리고 지성과 감정을
I heard a
지니면서
good
그런
chunk of them
많다고
have
들었어.
sentience and emotions.
인간의
If they're non-humans,
도시
impurities
안에서
to existence is
용납할 수
unacceptable in
없는
the city,
불순물인 거야.
especially in this age of humanity.
나처럼 말이구나.
Just like me.
환영합니다.
Greetings, dear guest. I'm Angela, director and librarian of my rule's namesake.
안젤리카.
Angelica?
저는
My name is
엔젤라입니다.
Angela, dear guest. Yeah, you're right. There's nothing, no way something as hideous as you could be her.
헛소리하지
Why don't
말고
you stop spouting such uncouth nonsense and head inside already?
기계조차
Power
인간이
so
될
potent
수
even a
있도록.
machine may become human.
역시
It's as I
더 물을
suspected.
봐야겠네.
The library has to ripen.
기다려줘.
Hang in there, Angelica. It won't be long. What a freak. Anyway, it's Triple Gears time. These guys only have one speed die, which is nice, but they also have vapor, which is not nice. Okay, this one's vaporing, yeah. Like I said, not very nice of you to do that, especially because it's bad for our emotion level, right? Angel didn't say the line is over. Yeah, that's how you know she's just done with this guy. She wants him dead. She didn't even bother with, you know, the niceties. Yeah, we're just gonna go all out, I suppose. Might as well, right? There's not really a reason not to. You can't. Anyone who we, accidentally made it so they were going for the wrong thing. I think just like that, right? Yeah. Cool, send it. Justin's probably not getting emotion level up here unless he gets real lucky with his rolls. No dice, that's fine. I was expecting as much, right? Issue with Vapor is really bad because it doesn't flash, right? It's annoying for us. It's good for them because they just get some free damage and there's nothing we can do about it beyond just defending it. And we don't get a lot of emotion level from it. We spin the wheel next stream. Probably next stream. We'll have to see. It depends on how much progress I make next stream, right? Because we need to, make a little bit more distance before we get our next stab now. Yeah, it's unfortunate, especially because we can't redirect that. That's rude. Luckily, one of them's vaporing this time once again. You're just going to extract fuel and, I guess, hope for the best. Not much you can do there. That's fine. You need to go for this guy. Cool. Everyone else should mostly have their pick of the litter. So that'll work well enough. So we need to go you and you. Okay, yep. Like that, and then finally you're the one that's vaporing. I mean, we're going to leap that, not because it's a good thing to leap, but just so we get a little bit of emotion level from it, right? Good enough reason for me. Okay. A lot of timing just happened there, that's funny. Also, I mentioned this early in the stream, but in case you weren't there for that, there's probably going to be a while until the next stream happens, because, you know, I'm going to be working late this next, like, week or so, so I'm not going to be able to stream. It happens. Hopefully that'll be fine. Okay, 6 speed is our first issue, of course. Alright, do a little bit of thatting. You're annoying. You can't redirect anyone this turn. And you also can't redirect anything this turn. Okay. So it's not going to be the best turn as far as, you know, that sort of stuff is concerned. But that's fine. That's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes, suffer. Never end. I am the reason why its sufferings never end. Sure, just end that. It'll be good enough. I could think more if I wanted to, but, like, this fight's not too bad. I'm not too concerned. Maybe I'm horribly underestimating it. I wouldn't be surprised knowing me, but I think it'll be fine. The defensive dice they get from their passive is so nice for us. Almirante's been staggered. Whoops. Vapor, not much we can do about it. It's fine. Probably should have blocked it and not, you know, tried to evade it because we couldn't, but, you know, Foresight's 2020, right? Metallic ringing, cool. This one's close to death. That's nice to see. You're vaporing. I was about to say none of them are vaporing. That would have been incorrect, though. Because one of them is vaporing. And they're probably just going to kill Almirante. We don't do anything about it. Which is annoying, because I don't know if we can really do much of anything about it. Not, like, safely, of course. But that's how it's going to go, I think. That's fine. Do a little bit of that. Flesh this guy, creek this guy to make sure they die. Or press flesh this guy. Hobbit blockade this guy. And bullet priest this guy. Cool, send it. You take some damage, but it means Almirante doesn't get brutally murdered. Oh, Kyrie's been brutally murdered instead. Huh. Whoops. You only learned how emotion gets reviewed properly when you watched that video from Fishing. I knew most of it. But some of it was just super interesting. That's for sure. I didn't know, like, the bleed mechanics especially super confused me. Why does it work like that? It really makes so little sense, but I mean, it's cool. I was gonna take a Solemn Lament, but then I remembered it's Blue Reverb coming up. We, can't really do it against him, can we? Block that. Block that. You can get some, like, one-sides in or something. I guess you kind of can't. Alright, send that then. We're not doing a lot here, but, like, I believe. We're farming emotion level so that we can just spam mass stacks in second phase, right? That's the strat. Okay, speed's much better looking this turn, so that's good. Press flesh that guy. Also throw in like a Undertake Prescript for good luck. You're not being attacked at all, rude. You can seize your chance this guy. Ujat this guy. Love to see a turn where we don't have to worry about any of those annoying vapors. Hate vapor, hate vapor. They should all die. Ruina's gonna ruin. I mean, the thing is, it's intentional, but the game never tells you about some of the specifics with the bleed mechanics. Or, like, the fact that, like, I knew clashes that tie, like, didn't get you emotions, like, most of the time. But, like, attack on attack giving you positive coins is super interesting. I think I noticed that happening earlier, in this stream. I, like, paid attention to it and was like, yeah, that's the funny going on. Okay, we're not looking great here, but that's fine. We've got a mass deck we can spam. We'll be fine. Argalia is going to be annoying as always, but like, well, who's surprised by that? It's Argalia. You're vaporing, so that's rude. Okay, that's why you can clash this turn. That's fine. Seize your chance. Or we should just, yeah, seize your chance that we can Ujat something else. I'd like to Ujat that, sure, I guess. Cool. You're not doing too much damage. I'm actually going to ignore you, I think. The bleed next scene's a little rude, but I want to kill these guys first and foremost, I think. Something like that should work. And then you're going to throw in some more random one-sideds on some of these guys. Because we want them to die. And that'll work well enough, probably. This will be nice here. We'll hit some random hits here and there, right? It's not like the best thing ever, but like they're neutral to it, so that's fine. There is a maximum given motion points too. Yeah, I don't blame you for not understanding it. It's weird, that's for sure. Sometimes you'll get like a bunch of emotion levels without clashing. Sometimes you'll clash and you still won't gain that much. So that also throws me off is like, because I forget when in Ruina. I feel like this was like during Star. I think it was like during early Impurity or something, or right, like in Impurity just released. They changed how emotion worked, so that like clashing only counted when 2 dice were actively going against each other. That was weird. Does he even inflict bleed when he comes back? I don't think so. He might inflict a little bit of bleed actually. I don't know for sure. More damage is funny. Who emotion leveled up that turn? Only you, alright. Not that worth it then. Okay, Salt Limit it is. Gun one of these guys down. Just because we don't like them. Which one's vaporing? You're vaporing? Alright. Salt Limit that guy, I just don't want to bother with the vapor. Okay, this turn we need to actually worry about what you're doing a little more. Going for actual attacks, you're no longer just scouting out. Not being clashed though, that's rude. Sure, Puppet Blockade that. Yeah, our HP situation is really not great on most of our people. I've definitely noticed that. I'm ignoring it because if I ignore it hard enough, it might go away, right? That's the hope. It's the cope. Okay, we can actually Twin Peaks that, so that's nice. Or heavy Twin Peaks. Huh? Speaking moment. Sure, send that. First off, gun this guy to death. Cool. That's one down. One of them was vaporing too, so super glad to see them dead. Okay, yeah, the bleed's a little bit rough. There's a death. Cool. Why are we one-siding you? That was a misplay. Yeah, I'm definitely regretting going for the bleed now, though. It's kind of killed 2 people. Could be a mass attack now, though. We get Dark Flame. Do you resist stuff? You resist Blunt Stagger. That actually doesn't matter too much. Dark Flame doesn't help us here. I mean, I'll go for music. I don't think I've ever chosen music before, but it might be nice. We're gonna regret this guy. You're gonna Grinder, I think. We can't solve him at this turn, that's fine. I'm not too concerned about that. You guys should mostly die to the Mass Tech. I don't think you do, so we're gonna Frontal Assault you, I guess. Cool. Yeah, we'll clash you a little bit. Sure, that's the wrong thing. That's fine. Just send it. Not great to see. I was kind of relying on that Mass Tech a lot. Okay, nice. Good roll. Good roll. Okay, that guy's not quite staggered. That's fine. Regret time. Love to see it. It's funny, after all. Okay, that one's staggered. Alright, we're fine. Library battle simulation, true. We're simulating this library battle, and you have no idea. Dodge all range attacks are only normal cards. I mean, range just does no damage. We let him to Venture's Dance. That's really bad, actually. We do not have the emotional level to deal with this. Okay, cool. You're going to... I'd really like to just kill this guy, honestly. Just being completely honest here, but I think the best plan of action is going to be just do as much as we can, like, in regards to redirecting and stuff, right? Blockade, sure. It's looking a little dire. The mass attack, the Tempestuous Danza is rude. Okay, we at least blocked a fair bit of it. That's nice. Okay, that actually was kind of pathetic. Oh, that's a lot of bleed, though. Ugh. Okay, we bled out for that. That's fine. It just means we're goated. It just means we're goated. I just looked at our light. We're not very goated, are we? We're kind of cooked, I think. I think cooked is the correct terminology for the situation at hand. Yeah. This isn't great. We're getting power nulled. Gotta accept that as to being, you know, fact. So close to staggering too, but like, we seem really cooked. Oh. Huh. We put him into the machine. You know... I'll roll with it. I thought wasn't he like 70 damage away from fleeing? Did I read it wrong? I thought he was at like 310 HP or something. I thought we were a little too far away to get him down to 250 that easily. I mean, I'll take it, but that was a little odd. Ugh, we lost him. We couldn't get a proper book out of him either. I really wanted to take a peek at that lunatic's mind for once. Do you need that person's book above anything else? It's for personal reasons, to be frank. The blue version seemed to be after the red mist. Then perhaps the Book of the Red Mist could lure him back here again. I appreciate the thought, but how exactly are we going to do that? You know, the original Red Mist kinda doesn't exist anymore. About that, you might have a way around it. Say, the blue version said he lost his sister to a distortion, right? Is he aware that I was the cause of that phenomenon? He's no ordinary guy, so it's possible he's noticed it. And the Blue Reverberation School may be taking revenge on me, perhaps. No, rather, anyone who lost what they found precious to the distortion would resent me once they learned I was responsible for the phenomenon. Yeah, anyone would. Well, maybe. Do you regret it or anything? I'm not really sure. All I can say for certain is that it's not exactly pleasant to know that resentment against me is growing. Even then, it was ultimately the fault of the one man who trapped me inside for eons that the city came to suffer. I love foreshadowing, true. The more you play Ruina, the more you realize that, like, the foreshadowing isn't, like, it's so heavy-handed, but no one ever notices, like, to the degree that it's there until you know, actually. People notice, like, to a degree, but, like, it's so, like, obvious once you've played the game once. How frequent it is, especially in Star of the City. Roland is like at Angela's throat this entire time, but it's done in such a way for those who isn't aware. You know, from Angela's perspective, he's just being, you know, questioning something like that. Equipping 3 Martina, good idea in Cali. I'm sure it's perfect. I feel much better thinking about it that way. I don't care if the Blue Reverberation wants vengeance or not. Gets so passive aggressive, yeah. It's but one of the many clashes between my desire and the city folks' desires. Right you are. That's that, and this is this. We love Roland. And we do have Mountain of Smiling Bodies unlocked now, so that's pretty cool. First things first. I mean, the fun thing about the Book of the Church of Gears Worshipper is, like, you never need it, right? Because, like, for the Red Mist one, you just need the Book of the Body Orb, right? So, like, Church of Gears Worshipper, you can burn all of them to never have any consequence. You might need them for one of these, though, right? Yeah, I guess you technically need it for this, but, like... That's the only thing, right? Slowly making progress on these. I'm getting a bit of a headache, though, so I don't think I'm going to do this avenue today. We can start with Mountain next time, and then I'll poll you guys on what to do next. And I've got a good guess as to what you guys are going to vote for. But, as I mentioned before, next stream might be a while. Hate to say it. I'm going to have to see how work is going to go. But, I might be busy a lot of nights this next week or two. So we'll see. I'll update people in the Discord, so, if you're not in the Discord, join. There you can get your notifications of the stream and stuff, and all that sort of jazz. But yeah. That will be all for this time. So that's good. We made some good progress. We finally finished the first row at Star of the City. We're slowly making our way across. Like, it's not the fastest speed, partially because of the banter, partially because, like, we play, like, 2 hours, like, twice a week. Yeah, it's a very slow pace, but, I don't know. It's gonna last longer thanks to that, right? Anyways, that will be all for this time. Thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.